Hey Craftsman crew and other viewers, got another video for you today. This one's going to be volume 2 of Journey of Our Junkers. This one's about I think it's a 1986 or 87 tempo. There was one car I think in between the Black Beauty tempo that I told about in the first yarn and this one, but there wasn't much to tell about that one. It just lived its life and went to the junkyard, and so this gray tempo we had, we got from Annette's dad. He had fixed it up and was going to sell it, but we needed a vehicle, so he gifted it to us. So anyway, this one was in really good shape actually for a while, but we had drove it I think all summer and through the fall and into the winter, and so one day when I was young, like I say, I was a little crazier behind the wheel, so I didn't mind driving in the snow or anything like that. Like nothing really bothered me, and so we was on our way to go down and visit Annette's parents, and it had been a big snowstorm. There was at least probably a foot of snow had been on the ground, and we were on our way down, and I was only dressed in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and Annette said, well, ain't you gonna wear something other than that? And like I've always been a big guy, and my temperature runs hot. Like I don't mind the cold too much, and so anyway, I said, well, I'm only going from our house to the car, and then from the car to your mother's house, so I don't really need it. And I said, besides that, I said, if I need it, I said, I got my, I had an insulated coverall suit that I wore at work in the trunk of the car. So anyway, so it was me and my wife, and this was before my son was born, and we had a Labrador Retriever dog at the time. While he was Retriever, he was Lab and Retriever and Little River mix. So anyway, he was a good old dog, and he was our kid before we had our real child, and he went with us when we went places. And so anyway, we put him in the back seat of the car, and we was on our way down to Annette's mom's. So we was coming down over Port LaBear Hill, and I think I don't know if I showed you that part of the road. Anyway, it's a big hill on the way to Annette's mom. So we was coming down over Port LaBear Hill, and like I say, the road was full of snow, and Annette said to me, she said, I smell something burning. And I smelled, and I couldn't smell nothing. I said, no, you're foolish. So anyway, we got down pretty nigh to the foot of the hill, and all of a sudden flames started shooting out of the heater vents. And I said, well, I guess you were right. I guess there was something burning. So anyway, we get out, started bailing our stuff out of the car, like the insurance papers and stuff like that, and getting important things. And I opened up the hood and took the battery cable off in case it was a electrical fire, and I mean it probably was an electrical fire to start like that. But so I took the battery cable off so it would disconnect the power, and so got in the trunk, got my coveralls on and stuff like that. And so anyway, I looked at Annette, and Annette looked at me, and she said, oh my gosh, Spike, that was the dog's name. I opened up the back door, and by that time, like, the fire had engulfed the whole inside of the car, and it was nothing but black smoke because the dashboard was melting down over the handlebar, the steering wheel. And so anyway, I opened it up, and there he was looking at me. As if to say, let me out, Dad. So anyway, he jumped out, and that was trying to keep him under control there, because he was quite excited and had probably got a little bit of smoke inhalation. But anyway, he seemed to be fine. There was nothing really wrong with him. But he so then along came a car, like, and by this time, like, the car was like in total flames and it was out of control, and there was a car stopped, and a young man, probably a little older than I was at the time, he got out and he let Annette and Spike get in the car there because it was cold, and Annette and I was both cursing and swearing. We was all like upset with the situation and explaining to him what had happened, and then by that time there was like other cars had stopped and there was vehicles coming by and didn't know what was happening. We had called the fire department, or called 911, and the roads were so bad that they wouldn't even send out a fire truck. Actually, that day the local fire department just sent out 2 guys in a pickup truck with some extinguishers. So, well, anyway, in the meantime, 2 of her uncles on her father's side had stopped, and with snow and stuff, they had pretty much got the fire put out. So, anyways, in the meantime, before they got the fire out, there was this big fuel tanker coming down over Port LaBear Hill, and I was like warning people at the top of the hill. Like I had walked up the top of the hill and warning people, like, there's a car on fire down there, like, so take your own caution, like, going by there. And this fuel tanker, like, I said to him, there's a fire down there, like, be careful of this fuel tanker. And he was like, I can't get stopped on this snowy road with this thing. And so anyway, he kept going. He got past there, nothing had happened. So anyway, it burned up. And so anyway, this guy had been keeping us in the car, like I say, and waiting for Annette's mom or Annette's father to come to tow the car to his place to get it off the road. So anyway, like I say, we had been cursing and swearing and stuff like that. All of a sudden, this dude looked at me and said, would you mind if I prayed for you? And I'm not a believer. And Annette isn't. Well, Annette, I think, believes, but she's not a Christian by no stretch of the imagination. So anyway, I said, you do what you got to do. And so anyway, he prayed for us, and come to find out, this guy was just a freshly ordained minister at a preach school or minister school, whatever you call it. And so we found that pretty funny. Like, I was sitting there cursing and swearing and all this stuff, and then he'd find out he was a minister and wanted to pray for her. So anyway, her father showed up, and my brother-in-law at the time, he's not, well, him and Annette's sister is divorced now, but anyway, they showed up, and Willie, his name was, he jumped in the car to steer it while Butch was towing it, and it had no windshield by that time, of course, and by that time a cop that had showed up on the scene, and he was a guy known locally around. He was a pretty nice guy, like, his name was Jacques, and like, everybody liked him because he was just an all-around nice guy. And so anyway, I was in the car with him, and Annette was in the truck with her father when they were towing it, and he was kind of just accompanying us just to make sure that we got there safely. And so anyway, he was saying to me, he said, it's a good thing maybe that the car did burn up, he said, because I might have had to charge you for those tinted windows. And I said, Jacques, I said, it ain't tinted windows. I said, that's smoke damage from the fire. And he went, oh, I see. So that was pretty funny. Like, I still to this day, I don't really know if he was just trying to be funny or whether he actually thought that, but it was, we always got the big kick out of that. But anyway, now I see him getting on here toward 10 minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap her up at that. But it was a pretty interesting day, but it's fun to look back on it and laugh. Like, there was some circumstances, like, even though it was a pretty hectic situation there at the time, but there were some pretty funny moments in it as we look back. But anyway, with that, I'm going to say Craftsman out. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a nice day, and remember, if you can't laugh with me, laugh at me, but keep laughing. Hey all, H Craftsman here. If you like this video, please remember to like, share with all your friends, and even comment. It helps the channel a lot. And if you'd like to become a member of the Craftsman crew, it doesn't cost you a cent. Just hit that subscribe button. And remember, if you can't laugh with me, laugh at me, but keep laughing. Have a nice day.